Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome to my channel. I have a Christmas craft for you today. The tools that you're going to be needing: glue gun and glue stick, a good pair of scissors, a piece of cardboard or paper is fine, pencil, a little scraper. You can also use a credit card, some paint brushes and something to put your paint in. The supplies that you're going to be needing are a package of the wooden ornaments. We're going to be doing the little stockings today. And I'm going to be showing you 5 different ways to decorate. You're also going to need some wrapping paper. This is the one I'm going to be using. The Dollar Tree has a nice variety of wrapping paper with a lot of different patterns. It's a good choice for any type of Mod Podge, scrapbooking, or paper crafts that you want to do. Here's a little selection of what I picked up so far this year. Make sure to check the description box of all of my craft videos. There you will find a detailed list of all the materials and tools that are needed for the project. You'll also find a total cost for the project. Okay, you're going to need a package of little mini bows. And then if you would like to decorate with, you can get some of the DIY stickers. I have a couple here to choose from. You're going to need one of these white fuzzy fabrics that you get from the automotive section. I have some Sharpies in a couple different colors in case I want to color in some of the DIY stickers. Some matte Mod Podge and a cup. I have some red glitter that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm using some paint. This is Apple Barrel White and Apple Barrel Cardinal Crimson. I also have some small pearls, and I have some of the small snowflakes. I have both in the clear or silver and the blue. I have some different fabric choices from the Dollar Tree. All of these I got from the Dollar Tree. I'll be using this one and the gingham, but if you can't find these two, the snowflake or the blue gingham will work. But today I'm going to be using these two. I also have some wide ribbon in the red and black buffalo check. This and these 2 paints came from Walmart. Everything else came from the Dollar Tree. I have a bag of these small pine cones and a package of the wired garland. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get set up and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I went ahead and I took one of the stockings and I put it over my little piece of cardboard here. I traced it and cut it out so I have a little pattern to work with. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut right across where the white part or the fuzzy part of the stocking is going to be. Because I'm going to be using this for a different pattern and this for a different pattern. So I have my patterns. Now I'm going to go ahead and start by painting what needs to be painted. So I'm going to do 2 of the socks red on the base. I want to make sure that I get the edges as well. Now it's up to you if you would like to decorate both sides of the stocking or if you only want to do one side. I will be doing both sides for myself. A lot of times when I hang the ornaments on our tree, they tend to twirl. So I want to make sure that if I stick it in a place where it's going to twirl, that both sides are done. But that's up to you. Depends on how your tree works and how you like to place your ornaments. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that to this one. And then I have some others that I just want to make sure I get the edges, and I'm going to do those in white. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have everything painted. I went ahead and painted 2 of my socks, red on both sides. And then the ones where I'm going to have the white trim on the top, I just painted the edge white. And same thing with these, wherever I had the white, I'm going to have the white on the top. I just hit the edges with the white. And this one I'm using the candy stripe, so I wanted to make sure I hit white all the way around. Okay, so for this little guy, before I put the white around the top, I'm going to go ahead and glitter him. So I'm using the Mod Podge. This is the matte. Just want to get good coverage. Not too much, but enough to get it good and coated. And I'm using this nice dark red glitter from the Dollar Tree. Just want to make sure I get a good coat. I'm using it over the paper towel so that I can collect and reuse the glitter. Now you want to do this before you put on the white fuzz, otherwise you'll never get the glitter out of the little white fuzzy top. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let that dry, and then I will do the other side. Okay, for my other red stocking, I went ahead and I measured out with my little guy how much I'm going to need of the black and red buffalo check ribbon. This is what I'm going to put on the top here. I decided I like that little black band that's the wired edge, so I'm going to use that on the bottom. Okay. Now to attach it, I'm just going to use Mod Podge. Go ahead and cover the area where I want the trim to be. Go ahead and lay it down. Put a coat over the top. I want to make sure that it's nice and secure. Okay, I'm going to just set that aside. I'm going to let that thoroughly dry, and then we'll trim it up and then turn it over and do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so I went ahead and took my little pattern and I cut out 2 little booties, and they're going opposite directions, so I have one for each side. And this is the wrapping paper. I'm going to go ahead and use the Mod Podge, and we're going to apply the paper. So again, go ahead and just put it on the bottom. Not too much, because you want to get a good coating. And we want to go ahead and lay the paper over the top. This is when your little scraper tool comes in. This will help you make sure you get any air bubbles out. Make sure that everything gets good contact. You don't want to press too hard because it is paper and you don't want to tear it. Okay, when it's dry, On the back, I can go through with a little sandpaper and clean up the edge. And then I'll do the same thing on the back. So I'm going to let this dry nicely before I move on. Now for the two that I'm covering in fabric, I went ahead and cut squares that are the correct size. I just want to make sure that I have one edge that's nice and clean that I can lay down here. The rest I can always trim off after everything dries. You just want to make sure you have one nice clean edge. Okay, and I went ahead and prepped both of them. Now you'll apply it the same way for both. Use the Mod Podge again. Make sure to cover the area that you want to cover. Lay that down. Use your scraper again. Hold one side, pull through. Just make sure that you get really good contact and you're removing any kind of air bubble. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let that sit and dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to put a coating over the top and let it dry again. And then I'll go back and trim it out and then put the other side on. And I'm going to do the same thing with the buffalo check. Okay, so while I was waiting for everything to dry, I went ahead and painted white two of the do-it-yourself stickers. They're the little snowflakes. To clean this guy up, because the edges don't match perfectly, you just want to take a fine sandpaper. This is 150, and once it's dry, just lightly go over the edges and drag down and away, and it will clean it up for you. It'll give you a really nice, clean. You don't need to do it hard. Just remember you're dealing with paper. Okay, so the edges are all clean, but as you can see on the side, you can really see that it's not painted. So on this one, because the pattern is nice and dark, I'm just going to use my black Sharpie. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to hit that edge and cover it up with black. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just nice to kind of hide that edge. Now it looks much better. So this guy, the base is done. Now we're going to attach the fuzzy part. So I cut some pieces that will fit perfectly over. They will still need to be trimmed. But before we attach these, let's go ahead and put our hangers on, because we're going to be covering up that hole. These are just the little twine hangers that came with the ornaments. And I just simply tie a simple knot. And then when I glue the fuzzy part on, I'm going to make sure the knot is down underneath so it's hidden. And then again with your fuzzy, you want to look, one side is a little fuzzier than the other. So I want to use the fuzziest side. And then the bottom here, you want to make sure you have a pretty straight line. Because once this is glued down, you're not going to be able to trim that very bottom. Good scissors come in handy for that. Okay. I'm going to use Mod Podge again to glue this down. So I have that glued down. I will be trimming off the edges once it dries, and then I'll put another one on this side. And you won't see where this is attached, and you'll just have the hanger. And then we'll do a little bit of embellishments on them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attach the rest of the tops to the ones that are done and dry. Okay, when you're trimming your fabric off of your shoe once it dries, you want to start first with the scissors and cut as close as you can. Get off as much. There'll be some areas where you just can't get your scissors in close enough, like around the curved areas. Anything that you can't get close enough with your scissors, you can go in after and use an X-Acto knife, put it down, and then just trace it. You just want to make sure you're on something that is safe to cut on, either a cutting board or a cutting mat or something. And then you can just go ahead and trim off with that any little excess. And then to get that final really clean, just go over it like you did with the paper, with some sandpaper, and that'll clean up just that extra little bit of stuff. And then you can get a nice clean line, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up and get them all to the stage to decorate, and then we'll come back and decorate. All of the bases are done. Now, if you choose to do the paper, you do not have to put Mod Podge over the top of the paper. If you're doing fabric, you're going to want to put the Mod Podge on the bottom and on the top and let it thoroughly dry. That will make the fabric stiffer, and it'll make it much easier for you to cut. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do some embellishments. I'm going to start with this little guy. I really liked these little white snowflakes. I painted them white. They are from the do-it-yourself wood stickers. I'm going to go ahead and attach one right here on the side, just to add a little something extra. Use a little bit of hot glue. Very pretty. Okay, on this little guy, I'm going to go ahead and add some pearls. I want to add them right along the edge here. Put a little bead of the glue. And go in and put some pearls down. Now it's easier if you lay the glue down first and then just put the little pearls on. You're less likely to burn yourself that way and get the glue everywhere. Just a little bit. Stick on the end here. And the pearls look very pretty. Okay. And then on our buffalo check here, I just wanted to put a small silver snowflake just to add just a touch of sparkle. It is Christmas. Adds just a nice little bit of sparkle. And for this guy, go ahead and take just one of the wired ties here. And then I'm going to cut them about 1 inch. Need 2 little pieces. Go ahead and pull off any excess. And I'm going to glue these side by side like that. And right in the middle. I'm going to take one of my small little pine cones here. Glue him right in the middle. Then I'm going to add one of the little tiny red bows right at the top. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. And this little guy, I'm going to leave him just the way he is. Kind of your standard stocking. Now I did do both sides. Okay, I'm going to let those dry and then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Well, I hope you enjoyed this craft. If you like crafts, DIYs, and hauls, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I upload new content every week. And if you enjoyed this, please give me a big thumbs up. It does help out my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time.